Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well. This is our second video on the socket programming. So in this video we will write a simple program on client and server communication. So make sure that you have watched our first video. So without wasting our time, let's install the video. In this I have used Ubuntu Linux operating system, and I have used the C language for writing the code of the socket programming. So first of all, we have include all the necessary header files, that is stdio.h for normal input output, and sys/type.h, sys/socket.h, where all the important and necessary functions are written here in the socket.h, and net inet.h, and arpa inet.h, fcntl.h, and string.h for the message that we are sending, that is in the form of the string, and unistr.h. So these all are the header files, just include as it is, right? So in the main function, we know that all the main things happen in the body, like in the main, under the main function. So what we have done, firstly I am showing you the server.c. we have to write two programs, one is for the server and one is for the client. Basically we have to communicate server and client, so we are writing two programs, one is for the server and one is for the client. So let's see first for the server. What happened in the server is, firstly we have declared an variable, that is sockfd, that we have discussed in our first video about the sock file descriptor. What it will do, it will store the return value of the socket that we have written here. It will store the value of the socket in the sockfd, right? And fd1 and variable, and the value, and one more variable, that is I, which will store the bind return value, right? And we have used an character array, that is buff of size 100. That's because we will store the message in the buff, and then we'll send or receive the message through the client, right? So here the pre-built structure that is already predefined in this header file, that is sock header, and we have taken SA, right? So in this line, in line number 14, we have take the return value of the socket in the file descriptor. So here sa.syn family af inet, and sa syn adder, and here in adder any is used, that is we can take any value of IP address is can recognize and store, right? So, and I have taken the port number 60018. I have told you that you can take the port number above 1024 and 65535. So I have taken 60018, right? And the variable that I have taken I am storing the value of the return value of bind in that I variable. So what it contain? It contain the sockfd, that is our file descriptor return value, and here is struct, predefined struct, and the pointer of SA like this, and the size of SA, right? So we are here printing, if everything is fine till here, then it should print test, return value of this sockfd, and return value of this bind. So we know that if it is returning -1, then there is something error. If it is not returning -1, then it means it is running perfectly. So if I am running this program and here -1 is not returning, then it means our program is running successfully. So here one more struct sock adder star form is used, right? And we have taken an integer length, and which is storing the value of a size of struct sock adder. So this was the syntax that we have already seen in our first video. So if you haven't watched the first video, first was that to understand these terms, what are basically these are, right? So our main code is start here. Like I have declared a buff array where the message will be stored, and the message that it will receive, I have used the receive from functions, right? The message that the client was sending, it will be received in this, and then it will be print, right? And then again we have defined a message that is message acknowledged, and again we are sending this to the client. Like if I have received one message, then how the client will understand that the server has received our message or not? So for that acknowledging the message, we have sending the message to the client. So this was about the server side program. And after, when the communication closed, like when it has received and it has sent, then it will close the socket. So this was about the server. Now let's see about the client side program. Here we have include all the header files that I have explained, and in the main function we write our important codes, and which are, I have declared an variable I and the sock fd, that is file descriptor, again as we have defined in this server side. So here I have taken a character array, that is buffer of size 100, and again instruct adder dot in, and here the sock fd value, that is returning the value, storing the return value of the socket. And these are the syntax. Here we are taking the IP address in the client side, that is 127.0.0.1, that is also we known as a loop back IP address. If someone is asking about the loop back IP address, then you can tell this, right? And we are taking the port this, right? So let's come to our main code. So basically we are taking an L, which is storing the size of SA is what? Here socket array. So let's say the client is sending an info and message to the server. So what it will do, we are copying the value of this message to our buffer, and then this buffer message is sent to the server. So how we are sending through the function send to. The send to function is taking the parameter sock fd, then the buffer message, then the size of the message, then the flag, that is 0, and the struct address, and then the L, that is size, right? So in this way this message is sent to the server side, and again the server side that the message client is sending here, it will be received by this server. So we are using the receive functions, and here the message that the server is sending, that will be received by the client here. So the receive function is used to receive that message, and to print those received message, we have using the printf function. And now when the server will send the message and it will receive the mention, then all the communication will be happen. So now when no communication is required, then we will close the sock fd, like we have closed the socket of the client too. So in this way our communications stops. So this was all about the client and the server. So now let's see how to run those program, how to start. So I have told you in the first video that to run the socket programming, first we have to run the server side, and then we have to run the client side. So let's come to our terminal, and let's see. So let's see to the terminal how we are running the program. First we run our server program. So to run, type gcc server.c -o server, and then /server. Then here, see here what it is written. It is written test 30. The 3 is for the sock fd and 0 is for the bind. So I have told you that if it is not returning -1, then it means it is running perfectly. We have no error in our code, so it is running perfectly fine. That's very good. So now run the client side program. So to run the client side, again write gcc client.c -o client. So and again client. So see here, जैसे ही मैंने यहाँ पे क्लाइंट फंक्शन को रन किया, यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, यहाँ पे क्लाइंट जो भी मैसेज था, ये क्लाइंट का जो मैसेज था, मैसेज फ्रॉम द क्लाइंट, दैट इज़ रिसीव्ड इन दिस, दैट इज़ रिसीव्ड बाय द सर्वर, राइट? And the message that the server is sending, that message acknowledged, is received in the client side. So see how it is happening very beautifully, right? So the client is sending the message that is received by the server, and the message that is sent by the server, it is received by the client. So in this way we can run the socket programming, a normal programming between the client and the servers, where the communication is happening. Like client is sending the message and server is receiving, then the server is sending the message, client is receiving. So this was all about this video. And one more thing, if you are finding any difficulty anywhere, then just open your terminal and just write man. If you want to information about the send to function, just write man send to, and you will see all the information about the send to, how this is working, how it is not working, what are the parameters it is passing, and you can read it from here, right? So this is very good thing if you are using terminal functions here, right? So this was all about this video, and we will soon meet in our next video. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and please share with your friend. Thank you.